Welcome to Loving Yourself Fit podcast. I'm Meagan Hesham, and today I'm joined by my husband, Will.
Hi there.
So this is a bit of a different show. I'm excited to have you here.
I'm excited to be here.
I know, right? So we're going to be talking. What are we going to be talking?
I'm not sure yet.
Oh, okay. We're going to be.
I'm ready to talk.
Yeah, he said he'd talk about anything, so
Yeah.
we've got him here. We're talking kind of relationship. No, that sounds wrong. Like fitness and accountability in a relationship, right? So like with your significant other, having that kind of accountability and working out together or working out and having goals together. So we're kind of talking all that stuff, right?
Sure. Yeah.
You up for that?
I am.
Okay, great. Okay, so where should we start? Basically, we've always been into fitness. We love it.
Yep.
I mean, it's like a passion of ours. It's a hobby. It's a lifestyle. It's all that stuff. And, you know, we go in ebbs and flows. We have our seasons and all that stuff. But I think like quite a few times we've been there for each other to kind of like, okay, let's do this. Let's get to the gym or let's eat healthy or let's do the thing. Right. And I think that's like a really cool thing.
It is. It does. And it kind of motivates you, right?
Yeah.
And it puts you in a, let's say, more of a steady program, right?
Yeah.
Because, as you said, we hold each other accountable. And it makes it, it makes it more fun. You know what I mean? It's like you have a goal at the end.
Yeah, and you have a goal together, kind of.
Right.
Even if it's a different goal. I
True.
think.
Yeah.
Because we have very different goals. Like our fitness goals are not the same. So I think you don't have to think like, oh, my partner wants to get to be this muscular man and I want to lose 30 pounds. It's okay. You can still work on those different goals together.
Which we do.
In its own way. Yeah, we have very different goals. Right now, especially, we have different goals.
Right.
We eat differently. I mean, we eat the same thing, but different kind of makeup. So I think a lot of women tell me, oh, well, I have to cook totally different things for my family and me. But I think you can cook kind of the same thing. You just kind of, I give you a lot more than I would eat, or I add some carbs to his that I might not be eating, or whatever.
And I think it kind of, it works best if the both of you are working on it together because you get to also start your day right. Like I notice every time we start this program, we start off with our green juice in the morning, right? So there's always that. So it kind of kicks your day in a very positive way.
Yeah.
And you feel bad, let's say, screwing that up. Right. So you're like, you know what? I started with my healthy green juice and now I'm eating, I got my first meal. I got my snack. I got my second meal. Now it's time to work out. Right. So it kind of forces you to regulate your schedule and include your workout in there. Right.
Yeah.
So your meals are all, there's regulation to when you have your meals and you got your workout set at nighttime, let's say.
Yeah, and I think being together on it really helps. Like the other day, all our kids, they wanted Taco Bell. And I was like, you know what? I'm ordering them Taco Bell. That's cool, but I'm with you. We are on the plan. We are eating chicken breasts and broccoli and all our beautiful healthy foods.
True.
And just like the workouts, right? Like we have a huge trouble finding time to work out, like most people, right? And we have 2 kids, so it's busy all the time. And what have we been doing lately? I mean, we built our own like home gym, so we had no excuses, but there was still the time excuse. So what we do is we put our youngest to bed and we're like, okay, we're going to work out. And that's all there is to it. We are working out no matter how much we think we have. We have all our work, we have all the stuff we have to do, housework, cooking.
Yeah, we can always spare that 1 hour, right?
Even if you feel like you can't, if you're together on it, I feel like you're like, no, we're going to go do that.
Right. And it kind of, once again, like if one person feels like going and the other person doesn't feel like going, then it does change your mind because you're like, you know what? Well, she's there. I better go, right?
Exactly.
And it does get me down to the gym.
Yeah, because I'll be like, okay, are you working out? And if you didn't feel like it or vice versa, sometimes it's kind of like, okay, I'll go.
Right.
Even if I'm not really feeling
and you're like, come on, we got to do this, right?
And sometimes that's all you need. You just need that kind of push, and then you feel better after you've done it, right?
That's right.
Usually.
That's right. And and sometimes if I don't feel like it, but then you're going and I'm kind of lazy, right? But then once you start, it just takes the first, let's say 5 or 10 minutes.
Yeah.
and then you're in that zone right now, right?
Yeah.
And then before you know it, it's an hour or an hour and a half later.
We feel amazing.
And you feel refreshed. You feel, I mean, yes, you don't feel like going to bed anymore because you got all that energy.
I know, we've been working out at like 10 o'clock at night and stuff. So.
Yeah. But you feel good. You know what I mean? It's awesome. Like, for me, I think of it as, you know what? It's a therapy session at the end.
It is.
And I think everyone needs a therapy session.
I know, right? It's whatever therapy works for you.
Absolutely.
And that works for us.
For sure.
I mean, and the other thing is doing it together, right?
Yeah,
I feel like we're strengthening ourselves together.
We are. And there's a lot of laughs, a lot of giggles.
There's a lot of laughs.
Right? So, I mean, it's a fun atmosphere.
Yeah, like we pump up the music.
Yeah.
It's like a date night almost. So for busy parents
who don't go out on dates much.
We never go out on dates, pretty much. It's like hardly ever. Like maybe our birthday.
Yeah.
Maybe. We don't go out too much, just us two. So, I mean, I think that's also like the beauty of working out together with your partner. Even if you don't have kids, it can be like a quality time, but especially if you have kids, because then you don't get out much.
For sure.
So if you're not getting out much, you can just work out and you don't need
It may not look like quality time or feel like at the start. But then
I mean, if you're an hour every day spending time doing something physical, because it is also, I think, working out brings you closer.
Right.
Working out together, even if you're not doing the same workout. Like maybe you're doing the same workout, that's fun too, but we usually don't do the same
don't,
workout.
but then we get together at the end, let's say stretching or maybe abs. Yeah. So that's when we meet.
So when we're like, yay. Okay, so let's talk more about this. What about pushing and not pushing too much? So this is something I think happens with friends, with couples, with anyone who works out together and is holding each other accountable. You know, when one is like, come on, let's do it. And the other is like, I really need a day off or something like that. Or I really want to eat whatever, McDonald's today. So I think sometimes in a romantic relationship, it can be hard because if someone's like, don't eat that. And the other person's like, what? Why are you telling me that? Because it can become like a trainer kind of thing. And I'm always like, oh, be like my trainer. But then do I really want that? Do I want you to be like, don't eat that? Like, what do you think about that? Pushing or not pushing enough? Sometimes I think also, you'll be like, oh, I don't feel like working out. And I'll be like, yeah, I don't feel like working out either. Like, and maybe I would have, but I'm like, now I feel off the hook. What do you think about all that?
That's right. Well, to be honest, I kind of like the pushing, right? I don't think there is too much pushing. Because
okay. I'll start pushing.
I don't think so. Yeah. Because, well, again, I mean, people who like, who will only get motivated by that. That's why they go to a personal trainer, right? Because I think they give them that push and they want to keep that push, right? Does it make a difference if it's your husband? I think like
when
it's
your wife? Someone you're with, isn't it hard?
It might be awkward at the start,
because you're not hiring that person to push you.
Well, maybe we can. You know what I mean?
Should. I feel like I want it also.
Yeah, I mean, maybe you do feel more accountable if you paid money. So I don't mind if you did pay me some money and push you even harder.
Okay, I'll start paying you money to tell me not to eat McDonald's.
But I mean, no, it is different. You know what I mean? It is different.
Yeah.
Hearing it from me rather than hearing it from a personal trainer. But it's better to have it than I think not have it at all.
I personally like it.
Yeah.
I just think it could maybe cause problems. I guess you have to talk about it with your person.
Well, I guess you're testing your relationship also at that point, right? How far can we push each other? Who's going to go out the door first? But it's a great test.
Okay, is that what we're doing? Good.
It's a great test.
Okay.
So, someone might get pushed out the door.
So aside from all that funniness, I think
I don't think it's going to happen, though, but don't push it too much. I think you will find a balance.
I think number one, you have to discuss it maybe. Like we're discussing, I want to be pushed. Yeah, I want to be pushed.
So we did by asking each other to hold each other accountable.
Like I've said to you many times, like, can you just pretend to be my trainer and be like, why haven't you lost that weight that you said you...
Right. Yeah, I mean, we do, and we have taken before pictures. We haven't gone to the after
we've
yet.
done the before pictures a few times, and then why don't we take our after?
We haven't taken after.
We've gotten to after at times and not taken.
But we haven't taken the after pictures.
We need to do that.
But we do, because when you have a personal trainer, some of them would do that, right? They take your before, and then they take maybe your mid, and then after. So we treat it the same way as well, right? I personally like it a lot,
I do too.
and it does get me to work out more. Once again, especially if we don't have the time to actually go to the gym.
Yeah.
So 10 o'clock it is, right?
10 o'clock at night, we're in the gym.
But it's great. I enjoy it.
I think making it like a habit is good. Like, it's like, okay, every
Yes.
night after we put him to bed, we're going down.
Right.
Right? Like, rather than just like, well, we'll figure out a time.
That's right.
But when we don't do it at that time, I usually try and say, are you going to go work out? And you say, oh, why don't you go do something? You know, even if it's not together, just like being there and saying, I know you want that, so go do it.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yep. And it kind of like finishes the day off in a perfect way, where you've started it off by eating,
Having our
drinking
green juice.
well, and then now you've ended your day by your final workout, right? And obviously maintaining the good eating throughout the day. You'll feel really good at the end, and I think, you know, once you keep that going, it will become a habit, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. What else? What else can we say?
Okay, so we talked about goals, different goals. I think it's interesting to talk to your partner about all your goals and dreams. And, you know, I'm always going around telling you all my crazy dreams. Like, I want to become a figure skater and all this. And, you know, and you tell me some of your goals.
Right. I just want to be buff. Right.
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 You want to be buff. I
want
do too.
a six pack and
too.
and to be buff.
Okay. Just to like tell you my dreams, my goals, you tell me yours, and then we know what to look out for, like what to hold each other accountable for. Like, oh, okay, you want that? Well, let's do this together then.
Right. We give each other ideas on how to attain those goals.
And also, even in the gym, we give each other ideas. Like, I'll be like, what did you do for back here? You know, I can't think of a third exercise in our gym here.
Right.
And you're like, oh, I did this cool cable thing.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, that's cool.
Well, because sometimes you're working on a different muscle than I am.
Yeah.
Right? Or sometimes you're just doing cardio and I'm doing... we tried...
I'm just admiring him doing weights while I do my
we try to align the weights together, right? Because maybe you'd be doing cardio first, and then I do, let's say, I don't know, bis and tris, but then you don't want to do bis. And then once you're done your cardio, then we do our triceps together.
Yeah.
Right? So we try and get, you know, similar or the same muscles at the same time, because once again, she's got her own ideas. I got my own ideas. Her ideas maybe aren't for bulking. Mine are. So she would, you know, I'd give her some of, you know, what would...
I do some of your stuff, but some of my stuff. And just having the flexibility, like you can work out with your partner, but not do the exact same workout, right?
Right.
You can share some things, and then, and also, of course, there's spotting. Like if I were going for, I mean, we're not right now, but if we were in some heavy duty, like squat rack or something like that, and I needed help with like a big lift or something, you'd be there for me. That's nice too if you're going heavy in the weights. Or even if you're going running outside or something, it's so fun to have a partner like just with you. Like, let's go for a run. We got to do that in the summer. Yeah. So yeah, just... And I guess it goes beyond fitness, like just finding goals and strengthening your relationship through kind of like helping each other get to those goals. Like I think you start with fitness maybe, but it can
lead
to other exciting things, right? Like we've had lots of goals in our life, and I've been like, oh, you should go for that, and you've been like, you should do that. How are you going to do that? You know,
right. Well, you also, you know, sometimes the workout actually goes by much faster, the time.
Yeah, that's
because, you know, we find ourselves like discussing other, you know, what happened throughout the day and what are we going to do tomorrow while we're working out, right? So it's not just time to work out, but it's time to talk, right?
Yeah,
so you spend that time together. And it is therapy in every way, right? So it's a body therapy, it's a mind therapy,
it's a relationship therapy, it's everything,
so it does bring us together much closer, right? And
because I truly believe, like, when you're sweating and physical and like doing heavy lifts and cardio and everything, I feel like even with people I worked out with in my studio, my students, I feel like you develop a certain bond with people when you're around them working out, working towards that goal together, and just like endorphins flying and everything. Like, don't you think? I feel like it strengthens any relationship if you can go do some heavy duty workouts with your person.
Right? Especially when the right music is playing.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah, right. What's your favorite music to work out to? Because I know we have very different tastes.
We have totally different
I
tastes.
like to try and put something you like on sometimes. I don't usually. But
Now,
what is it?
mine? Well, it's different. Like
I'm
I don't like the
interested.
hardcore heavy metal to get me to work out. Mine can be just as simple as Ed Sheeran.
Oh
And
yeah. You like
and I would, yeah, that would really get
you
me
like
to lift
Ed
heavy.
Sheeran?
Well, I'm just
Wow.
saying as an example, right? Like I don't need heavy.
I know.
like,
You know what? Will told me he was. What was that story about you in the gym
which one?
and you had some like.
Oh, I had a romantic song. I think it was Callum Scott, right? and he's got this, that one song, right?
I know it. You just. Okay.
And what was the story? I forget.
I don't know.
When
I feel like
one
you were listening to some like sappy music while lifting heavy,
right.
and then someone asking you. I
remember
don't
the
know.
story now.
Anyways,
There was some
okay, you listen to very different music, so I gotta like blast some.
hip hop or.
Oh,
right?
that's what I like.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
but what
that's-
should I blast
or
for you?
rap.
I often wonder because I usually put the music on. I am usually in charge, and I put my music usually. But yeah, I should think about you. What?
I mean, for me, music to work out to, it could be just any music that just that reminds me of a good time.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be a workout music, to work out to.
No.
Right. As long as I'm in the zone,
Yeah.
in a good place.
Yeah.
It can be a very relaxed, romantic.
Oh,
song.
you like your Arabic music?
I do. I listen to a lot of Arabic
I
music.
walk into him working out, and I'm like, oh,
And it's
wow.
it's
a
a
whole
romantic
other-
Arabic song,
it's a
but then
whole
I'm
other
listening heavily
vibe,
to that.
yeah.
No, I'm not your average,
Nope,
get the
nope.
music. Yeah. I
You're
don't.
not. You're not. You're average.
No, it just because to be honest with you, I need a clear mind when I'm working out.
Okay.
And I find for me, it's just a personal thing that when I listen to upbeat, extremely fast music, I'm just getting a headache at that point, right?
Yeah.
And I don't feel like working out, but I need to be I need to be relaxed, and I find that music, I sing along with it, and it's and I get to work out longer. Right?
Yeah.
With the other fast music, I'm done my workout in 20 minutes, and it's like, okay, great. All right. What happens?
Yeah. It makes you
next?
nervous, that music. Yeah, I like hip hop.
Yeah, I don't mind it. Obviously, it does.
Always.
Yeah. But most of my time is relaxed music,
I can't work out to that stuff.
But not just music. Like, I don't need to hear the water, and
No, I know. It's
certain music.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we got the Peloton years ago, and that was like amazing. Will actually gave it to me for my birthday. Now, a lot of people would be mad at that, Now, it was like the best present I've ever gotten in my life, maybe. Some women would be like, you gave me a Peloton. Like, even there's ads for Peloton like that, and people are having issues with it or something.
Right? Wow.
Yeah. Anyways, I thought it was like the most amazing. Well, you know me, I'm into fitness. I love fitness. I had to stay home and work out at that point because I had just had a baby. And I was like, wow, this is amazing. I had never done spinning before in my life. And I was like a total like addict right away, and still am. Like, how many years into it?
3 years. No,
3
yeah, 3 years. Was it? Or two, maybe 2.5?
3. It feels like about 3.
Well, we got it right before the shutdown, right?
Right? It was
it was-
perfect timing. It was crazy.
We got it in November,
right?
and they shut us down in March.
Yeah. So that's been amazing. We've both been on it pretty much almost every day. I'm on it more than you, but you
Yeah.
do it as your cardio, which is amazing to just have like a cardio thing you can go to in your home, I think. Because I love the gym, but I love to just I can just go down and do cardio anytime in our house, which is beautiful. So to have something like that and actually use it is an amazing idea, especially as a couple, because you can both get use out of it. It's not just one person or whatever. What else helps us with our?
We also track our progress. Right?
Yeah,
So,
that's really awesome. Like, I'm very competitive on there.
Yeah, so we keep that. So we have our own calendar that tracks both our progress. We count
Oh,
the
our
days.
calendar.
Our own
I
calendar,
thought like
right?
the Peloton.
Oh, that too.
Peloton leaderboard. I love that.
Yeah.
But yes, okay. So we just recently started our own calendar. I used to do this on my own.
Yeah. Yeah.
But now we're doing it together as a couple, and we have like a color-coded system, and we write in like when we get our cardio, when we get our muscles in, when we get.
So if we do both, we get a happy face.
Right.
Well, my face, the ones I get are normally sad faces because I don't normally get my cardio done. So it's only just the weights. So it's
there's no sad.
Half. Yeah. So I don't get the full smile on the face that she draws for me. But whenever I get my cardio and my weights in one day, then I get a big fat happy face.
Yeah, give them a happy face.
Yeah.
I think that's useful. Like, I really like seeing like a million days where we've marked in like, yes, we did it consistently. Even if it's not every day, but like you start seeing a pattern.
I think it helps a lot. You're like, oh my goodness, I've actually done that much.
Yeah, well, it's like children with the sticker reward system. It's the same thing for adults, and I think it really helps. And it's just a smiley face, but then you go and you look at that calendar, and you're like, oh my God, I worked out like all month consistently, right?
That's right. And then you go back and you say, oh my goodness, I can't believe I let myself go and not, let's say, work out for a week, right?
Yeah. It can be weird. It's like, oh my goodness, there were a few days there that, so I like that accountability too. That's like extra accountability. And doing it as a couple is really fun. And it's not just you secretly scribbling it down in your book. You have this calendar up on the wall
that everyone can see.
Yeah. Anyways, anything else you want to say about couples?
I think I've said enough. Yeah.
I don't know. Okay. So what are your goals coming up in the next, 3 months or so? What do you think you want to work on the most?
Well, so cardio isn't my best. I don't like cardio that much. And so my goal is to like it more than I like it now. And I think it's going to be a slow progress, but better than no progress at all. So I do cardio maybe twice a week. I'd like to increase that to 4 times a week, let's say, right? So I want to work on that part. So that is one of my...
Get some more smiley faces on there?
More smiley faces. Weights is one thing, but I want to I want to get used to cardio, right? I want to like it. So that is my goal. I don't like it, and I'm trying to like it. I used to like it back in the day. I used to always run, and I used to always bike. But I think cardio for me, it's we kind of we grow apart. If we
don't do it for a
if we're not consistent, right?
Yeah.
If I'm not consistent with it, So I'd like to go back to that.
And I tell you, like, I think you think, this is one of my secrets with cardio. As much as we don't want to sit on the bike looking at our phone, okay, that sucks and you don't get as good a workout. But I tell you all the time, I'm like, you know what? If you feel like you have a lot of work to do or you have a lot of stuff you need to do, just get on the bike, and maybe you don't get such a great workout, but you get on there, right? And look at your phone and do your work and be on the bike.
Right.
And then it gets you on there, and then you put the phone down, and then you get a little better workout the next day, and then you put it down even more the next day, and then one day you don't even want the phone, you just want to work out and kill that leaderboard on there and all that.
Right.
So I think sometimes things like that can help people, just kind of tricking themselves into like, you know what, I'm going to sit here doing something on my phone right now for 20 minutes anyways. Why don't I just go down and kind of pedal, do a little something.
Right.
A little something, I think, is better than nothing.
Right.
Right?
That is absolutely.
And it kind of tricked me into getting onto the bike for longer periods of time. I'm like, okay, I could do all my email work while on the bike. And then at one point I was like, I don't want to even look at my phone. I'm so into the bike. Like, it kind of gets you on there.
Right. And I kind of like, not that I'm advertising Peloton, right?
I kind of am, because it is
awesome. It's great. But I like to compete. I like to compete against myself and my own record.
Yeah.
So which it's got that in it, right? So you get to, you look at your past accomplishments, right? Or your record, and you just want to beat that. And I don't care about beating anybody else, but I care about beating my own record.
I care about it all.
It's always a personal, a personal thing for me that I would like to always beat my previous record, right? So it's a personal growth. Every now and then I would try and beat someone on the leaderboard, but most of the time I just focus on me and what I did yesterday, and I try and better that.
Yeah, me too. I mean, I can't beat myself though, because I have some high score. For some reason I was good at one point and now I'm not. Yeah. Anyway, so I focus on beating others on the leaderboard, which is awesome. And let me just talk a little, I know we're going off onto Peloton, but that's okay. We kind of talked about Peloton the whole time, really. Yeah, I have a lot to say.
Leaderboard.
Right, leaderboard. But what I find about the leaderboard is, it's not that I'm like, oh, I'm going to crush everyone. Well, sometimes I am, but usually it's just that if I was slacking off and I see, oh my God, if I just go a little more, I will go above that person there, then I will. And it's crazy because it's like the sticker thing. It's like, it means nothing, but it means something. And so it does kind of force you to like,
Well, and most of the time it is kind of a competition between you and the closest person to you.
Yeah.
You always want to be above them, and then they always want to be above you, and then it ends up being that race.
Yeah, and I just want to thank them at the end. I want to say, like, thank you. You made me get an amazing workout in. Like, you pushing me, pushing you, caused us both to get the best workout ever in, right? I like that. And that's what can happen with partners, right? You don't want to be too competitive with your partner, obviously, and you might have totally different goals. But I think, like, even you and me, we lift different amounts of weight. Like, you lift a lot more weight than I can lift, right?
Right.
And so it's not a competitive thing where it's like, I want to lift more than you ever. Yeah. Although maybe some people might have that. For me, it's not my goal. I'm like, that's fine. But it's a thing like, if someone's with me, I will lift more. Right. If someone's not with me, I might just be like, I'll just do this or do less or skip a rep. Or,
exactly.
You know, like, and I feel like if we're together, I'll be like, no.
Because it doesn't matter what we're doing. It's like, have you done your 3 sets?
Yeah.
Yes. Have you done your 3 sets? Okay.
Did you go up in weight?
Right.
Did you
so
try your hardest?
Yeah.
You know?
So it could be totally different exercises, but then you've done your 3 sets. I've done my 3 sets.
Did you do it? Did you get all the exercises in, or did you just walk away? And sometimes, like, if you walk away, I'll be like, oh, did you do enough?
Yeah.
You'll be like, maybe. And it's the same with cardio. Like, maybe I get off the bike if I'm not with someone there. But if I'm with someone, I'm like, okay, I'm doing my 20 minutes. I'm going to be done into it, you know.
And how many times have I said to you, I don't feel like doing, the bike tonight. Yeah. And then you're like, just get it
on there.
And I'm like, oh my gosh. But then at the end, I'm like, thank you for letting me do it, because I feel much better now.
Because you always will.
And I wouldn't have done it if you hadn't told me to, right?
Right. It is magical. It's great. So I would totally recommend it. Would you recommend it?
100%.
Partners, significant others. Obviously, you could also do this with friends.
For sure.
It's a little different because you're not usually living with them. I will be having a whole other episode about accountability partners in friends, okay? And like checking in. No, you're still in here. You're still in here. I'm checking in with them. I will be having another one about that coming up fairly soon. So check out that. But this has been Partner Fitness. And also, we have a bunch of videos on YouTube of us trying new those, partner workout
yoga
challenges,
the yoga
all the positions.
Right.
So check those out if you haven't seen them. It's a lot of laughing. We managed to not laugh too much through this. I'm proud of us.
I know. There's not going to be much.
We were really serious about this topic. Okay, before I start laughing too much, let's sign off. Thank you so much for being here with
No problem.
me.
Well, thanks for having me.
Found some time to do this.
Yes, we did. I could have been working out.
We're going to go work out.
All right.
Soon.
See you guys.
Thank you. Bye. Hope you enjoyed this episode of Loving Yourself Fit podcast. If you loved it, help us out and leave a like, tell your friends about it, and see you next week. Same time, same place. Loving Yourself Fit podcast. Okay, are you ready?
Yeah. I know.
Okay. I was going to introduce it.
Okay, I was just fixing my face.
Yay. Welcome to Loving Yourself Fit.
We haven't started the podcast.
Okay. We're so I feel very close.
I know, you're very close to me.
Welcome to Loving Yourself Fit. Welcome to Loving Yourself Fit podcast. Today, this is why I can't narrate my own book.
Hi. Welcome to Loving Yourself Fit podcast. Today I'm joined with my lovely wife. Yeah, this is what you should do. Thank you. You look for, like for exercises.
What exercise?
Like,
yeah, well, we don't have to tell everyone all our goals and dreams, but I...
Right. No one needs to know. It's a personal goal.
No. But I think it's like...
What do you think?
I think it's beautiful to have like a sounding board, to have someone who you can be like...
Yes?
Like to have someone that you can just...
What are you trying to say?
To have someone that you can just tell all your...
It's best to set a goal or your dream, right? And
Do it!
I mean, that's what we all do, don't we?